Time to get ready. Time factor's always on. Time factor's always on. Somebody's gotta say it. That's why LH Music and Time Factor crew are inside your radio set. That's why the real conservative lives here. This is the LH Music Time Factor radio show. Time Factor. All right. Gord, Andrew, here's a, there's a, this guy,
over, since this incident happened, many people have speculated about the glasses, about her health, about the blood clots, what actually happened. Have we gotten the whole truth? Is she sicker than she really is? Is she going to run? When it comes to the Clintons, there's always going to be a lot of, I guess, speculation. I guess that's part of the course. Anyway, we welcome back to the program. Ed Klein is with us. Now, he has written both about the Clintons and Obama, the truth about Hillary Clinton, what she knew when she knew it, and how far she'll go to become president. And then he also wrote about Barack Obama, which was a best-selling book as well, The Amateur, Barack Obama in the White House. And apparently is going to be releasing soon a new book called Blood Feud, which makes the case for this deep rivalry between the Clintons and the Obamas. Mr. Klein, welcome back,
to the program.
Mr. Hannity, how are you, sir?
You are a troublemaker. I find this interesting. Every time you write a book, everyone wants to really smear, slander, besmirch you. They don't want to listen to what you have to say a lot of times, and then the books go on to be bestsellers.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the harder they hit, the bigger the books sell. So I have no complaints.
Well, they weren't complaining about you when you were the editor of the New York Times Magazine for what, 10 years?
12 years.
12 years.
So,
yeah. So tell me about this new book, and then we'll get into Hillary and her health.
Well, in the book, I talk about the same issue that Karl Rove raised, which is an important issue, and that's Hillary's health. It's a legitimate issue. Sean, she's had several fainting spells in the last 9 or 10 years. In 2005, she fainted in Buffalo during a speech. Later, she developed a clot in her leg and was put on anticoagulant medicine. In 2009, she fainted while boarding her plane in Yemen, fell and fractured her elbow. And then, as we know, most recently in 2012, she fainted and suffered a concussion. So this is a legitimate issue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Right. So, first of all, is that all confirmed, all those fainting spells?
It is confirmed, and you absolutely confirmed.
What do you think actually happened with this blood clot issue? By the way, there's nothing, look, some people can have low blood pressure and faint. Some people can faint because they're dehydrated. I know from my years in athletics, if I don't drink enough fluids, that I can cramp up. And if my blood pressure sinks low, if I haven't been eating, etc., I can get lightheaded when I'm playing tennis. But nothing serious. I've never fainted. But so that doesn't necessarily disqualify. It doesn't sound like anything that bad, that alarming to me. Does it to you?
Well, it wouldn't accept that where the State Department said that she fully recovered from this last incident in just over a month. This week, Bill Clinton said it took her 6 months to recover.
Well, that was a big contradiction. And Bill Clinton, I guess, opened up his big mouth because that was the narrative, that she had recovered in a month, that she was fine, that we knew she had a blood clot. Apparently, they were able to fix it. Do you have any problems with any of the medications you would likely take for a blood clot, anticoagulants, etc.?
Well, a lot of presidents have been on anticoagulants. Ike was on anticoagulants. FDR was on. I think Nixon was on. So that in itself is not, so special. But when you get a person who's the forefront runner in the Democratic Party, who's now fainted several times in the last 9 years.
Right, but several times in
9 years, has nothing to do with it.
What would your fear be about this, Ed? I mean, is your fear that in the middle of a crisis, do you think maybe she's fainting because of the stress? Because she lived a pretty stressful life as Secretary of State. She didn't do anything good that anybody could.
I think being married to Bill Clinton is a stressful life.
That's probably it.
Stressful as it could be. I'm not disagreeing with that. But, I mean, are you saying that she wouldn't be up to the job because of health issues? And what do you want her to do? Do you want her to just give out her... You open up her health records, particular incident, or
I think that anybody running for president in these days has to be open and honest about their medical records, have them all come out, The trouble is with the Clintons, as you know, when we're talking about records, you never know whether they're going to really reveal and release all the records or hide them. I mean, she hid the Whitewater records for years. Bill is known to have asked his cabinet to lie on his behalf. So it's very hard to know whether the Clintons can be trusted when it comes to their medical records.
All right, so now let's go to this new book. When is the book coming out?
The book will be out. It's called Blood Feud, and it's going to be published by Regnery on June 23rd.
Wow.
Okay, so this book is coming out. This will definitely make news. And you're going to make the case for this rivalry. Is it deeper than a rivalry? Because I have friends of the Clintons. If you may recall that when I was out there on a ledge for a time, even by myself for the most part, and people were warning me I was ruining my career as I was telling the world about Jeremiah Wright, Bill Ayers, Bernardine Dorn, what liberation theology was.
I remember very well, Sean.
All right, so when I'm going through all that, people told me my career's on the line, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, the Clintons actually started feeding me stuff, meaning the Clinton camp. For the first time in my life, they actually made contact with me. And that's a pretty interesting point, right? And they were like, you're the only, and they felt at the time, you're the only one willing to ask these questions. And meanwhile, they were so frustrated with the rest of the media. I'm like, welcome to our world. And I never got anything of substance that I could tell you that I went with that I didn't already have. But there was definitely encouragement that I was onto stuff and that I should keep at it. I mean, that was kind of like.
And this was what, during the 2008 primaries?
This was in 2007, 2008. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, remember, I'm the only person who have had an interview with Jeremiah Wright. Then they pulled him off the air right after that interview with me. So anyway, long story short, I still have some contact with people in their camp, and it's very clear there is a deep-seated hatred and resentment in these two camps. I mean, this is not a rivalry, as your publisher is saying. This is animus, hatred, contempt, even.
I think you're absolutely correct, and that's the reason I wrote this book, because this story has never really been told. I mean, you're getting at the very core of the story, which is that from 2007 and 2008, they have held, a total, complete animus toward each other, and despite all the kissy stuff that's gone on, they really have never made up.
Go back to when Bill Clinton said this about the Obama campaign, and knowing Bill Clinton, you know he never got over this, but this is what he said.
When he put out a hit job on me, at the same time he called her the senator from Punjab, I never said a word that she did not play the race card, but they did.
No, I think that they played the race card on me, and we now know from memos from the campaign and everything that they plan to do it all along.
They played the race card on me, and they planned to do it all along. I don't think Bill Clinton ever got over that.
He never got over it, and if you visit him, and I haven't, but other people that I know have, at his office in Harlem, he points out the window and says, look at Harlem, and, people on the street greet me as the first black president, and he is very proud of that. And the fact that he's being called a racist is probably the worst thing. You could call him a philanderer, and he wouldn't mind as much if you call him a racist.
One of the people that I know that have spoken to him have told me, and he'll go on ad nauseum on this, how inept he thinks Obama is, how in over his head he is, and how incompetent that he is.
Well,
100 years
for the amateur came from Bill Clinton himself, who refers to Obama in private. And I have people who were there, several sources, who say that he calls him an amateur because exactly what you just said. He thinks he's way over his head, doesn't know how to operate in Washington with the levers of power that are necessary to get things done.
They were also stunned at his inability to adapt and adjust to changing conditions, and how he clings to his rigid radicalism that I try to warn everybody about.
People said to me when I wrote that book, The Amateur, well, who's really prepared to be president? Well, first of all, there were some people like Ike. Eisenhower certainly was prepared. John Kennedy wasn't prepared to be president, but unlike Obama, he grew in the job. This guy, Obama, has not grown. He has remained exactly where he was when he took over the White House. As somebody who wants to transform America into this kind of democratic socialist state like Europe and has no skills in working with the other side of the aisle and has never developed any skills to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a deep hatred. Any big blockbusters in this book?
Well, there are a lot, Sean, and we're saving them for the unveiling of the book on June 23rd.
Well, give us a little tease. Give us a tidbit. Give us something
sneak preview
will whet people's
appetite.
Well, I would say this, that those who think that Michelle Obama has had nothing to do with the blood feud between the Obamas and the Clintons will be surprised to read my book.
Any other tidbits?
That's about it for now.
That's all?
Come on, Ed.
Come on, there's more!
Well, you know, it's very interesting. One of the things about this book is it's coming out about 3 or 4 weeks after Hillary's book, in which she's going to be saying what a great Secretary of State she was. This book is going to point out again and again her role in the reset with Putin's Russia, her role in Benghazi, which, by the way, I go into in great detail, and her role with Boko Haram in Nigeria. These are not the hallmarks of a successful Secretary of State, and you'll find a lot of that in my new book.
All right, Ed Klein, thanks for being with us. Look forward to having you on.
Sean.
800-941-SEAN, toll free.